one planet, one love, one family, one beat, one planet, one love. Good morning and welcome to SoulCall Sunday. My name is Lisa Ferrero. I'm the founder and spiritual director of SoulCall Ministries. Wherever you are this Sunday, we welcome you. And as we begin, we like to bring in the light. We've been starting our programs on Sunday mornings with a Qigong practice. And it's bringing in the light. Qi means energy, and it's a form of meditation, a moving meditation, working with the light within. And Helen Yee is joining us this morning. And so on the last day of, leading right into solstice, the winter solstice tomorrow, may we become increasingly aware of the light that we possess within at all times and how we participate it in the outer world. We're going to talk a little bit about that this morning, but to help us get centered and grounded in this moment where we are right now on planet Earth, pulling in this beautiful energy, welcome Helen Yee.
Inhaling as we raise our arms up, connecting with that universal Qi energy, guiding it down with our mind's intention, focusing it, coming into the body through the meridian pathways, into the central channel of the body, bringing it into all of our cells and all of our systems and all of the organs in our body, pushing out any stagnation and blockages of Qi. Continue to breathe in. Again, gathering that energy, guiding it down through the system, down the meridian pathway, bathing all of our cells, increasing our vitality and Qi energy, feeling the raising of the frequency into higher states. Again, guiding it into the systems of our body, into our organs, into our cells. From here, drawing the energy front and back, guiding it down with the mind. The mind is so powerful. Allow it to come in, bringing intention and awareness throughout the body. Feeling it raise our frequency and our vibration. Again, drawing it in, front and back, alternating the hands. Feeling that sensation of pure Qi and guiding it down with our mind. The lightness of our thoughts and the energy coming in, increasing the vitality in all of our organs. Again, drawing it in, focusing it into building a strong immune system, and in our lungs, in our heart, in our kidneys, in all the different pathways that energy circulates in the body. Drawing it in forward, guiding that wonderful energy into the lower dantian, where we store it when the body needs it the most. Standing and appreciating all of the Qi.
We're back. Standing and appreciating all the chi, and just taking a moment to inhale that peace. Feel that energy pulsating in your cells, every cell of your being. Wherever you put your mind, the energy follows. So from your feet, just allow your consciousness to come up your whole body, up your legs, into your torso, into your limbs. Just feel yourself filling up with light, and then just run the light in the other direction. You're not turning your light off, so to speak. You're just moving it around consciously. So it's like we create this conscious loop of participation in life. So just staying in that stillness. You can maybe sit in your favorite meditation posture. You might already be in it. And enjoy this meditation we put together for you. Still the body and calm the mind so that you can get back to that set point, that still point of pure consciousness, pure bliss. Pure consciousness, pure bliss. Find that still point, that set point. Pure consciousness, pure bliss. That eternal bliss of the soul, the consciousness that awaits the promise of your being. It is what brought you to fruition in this time-space continuum. That well of sacred soul intelligence. Pure consciousness, pure bliss. Pure consciousness, pure bliss. And just welcoming you back with us here, and just taking a deep breath and a beautiful exhale, knowing that when we inhale light, particles of light, 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 that help us with that vibrational charge that we need to become aware of other dimensions that are accessible to us at all times. And today the talk is the light of the world. And I started this morning to do some research on other ways people describe light of the world from different religious philosophies and faith traditions that have been around for centuries and longer. And I decided not to do it that way, mostly because you are the light of the world. I am the light of the world. And I think it's important that we start to allow ourselves to fully break free from some of these constructs of other people's thoughts and ideas that helped us to, scaffold our learning, so to speak. Developmental psychology talks about scaffolding our learning and our awareness. But it's important that we begin to allow ourselves the wisdom of our soul to come forth as light, as our own individual selves, bringing forth the origin of our own light. What does it mean to you to be the light of the world? What does it mean to me? And I think one of the things that I love most about this time of the year, and any time of the year, is I love light, but mostly I love driving around looking at the lights that people put out around their houses to celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or just the season of light. Like I said, the solstice. There's a great shift afoot here in the constellations. The stars are in a particular configuration that some are saying haven't been in this way, haven't been configured in this particular order for maybe 2020 years. And 2020, we're going to talk more about that next week, but has been such a year of light. We've gotten to see a lot of things exposed, brought to light, that haven't been so fun, but there have been great things awakening from the awareness of things that have been brought to light. We're getting a chance to see things we haven't been able to see in a while. So tomorrow, if you get an opportunity to go within and meditate deeply during the solstice time, it's a powerful time of transition, signifying, the more we attune ourselves with nature, the more we become enlightened. Things that come forth from other people's thoughts and ideas, it's great. We develop ways of being on the planet, ways of sharing information. Certainly technology is making this event possible this morning. So I'm really grateful for the light of ingenuity that went off in somebody's brain that helped create this opportunity in consciousness as we're here. But there's this other way, of this deeper way. There's the outer and the inner, yes? So this inner source of light that brings forth these other things to light. And when we can ascend above and see it all, kind of like recognizing our connectedness when we first saw the photo of the Earth from the moon, we could see that we are on one planet. We are one human family having a divine experience at the same time. Even though we live in different time zones before all of that, our existence is as a human being on a planet. Depending on where we are, we get a different experience. We could be in the same city and have a different experience. So this is why I'm saying the light of the world is within you. And no matter what it is we're doing, even if it looks like we're doing the same thing, it shows up differently as our individual souls. So our soul nature. So I love driving around looking at Christmas lights. I remember, I've always loved to do this, but I remember moving to Columbus and some friends picked us up. I didn't know my way around, so I didn't feel comfortable driving around slowly looking at lights because I didn't know where I was going. So friends picked us up and put us in the back seat of their car, gave us water and snacks. It's the closest I've come to being a child in a car seat because I wasn't of that generation. Just getting driven around, and I almost fell asleep too, like a child in a car seat. But it was magical, the lights. And so I promise you this evening, that's what I'm going to be doing, driving around looking at Christmas lights before they take them all down after the holiday. Why is there such a fascination? I think for me personally, I've always loved looking at lights. I was always able to see lights in nature on plants and trees and grass, flowers, people. I remember going to church. My mom would take us to the Catholic Church growing up. We'd always get there early. Some of you know this. My mom would say the rosary, but there would be other people in there. And I would say to her when I was a young child, I love going because I love the lights. And she thought I meant the lights in the back of the church. there were candles, and then they changed them out in the 70s for those lights. You put a donation in for a prayer and you push the buttons. But that wasn't it. I was totally into watching the lights of the human beings as they lit up when they were deeply praying, when they were deep in prayer and connection with their soul, or the energy of the God, the goddess, whatever they were praying to. They're most likely praying to God in a Catholic church, but I don't know that. I wasn't. So I like seeing what happens to human beings when they become alive with that charge of light. I was hooked. I was hooked on it. And so being the light of the world is the way we do it, the way you start today. I love words like auspicious. It's an auspicious time. Every day is an auspicious time, because there's no day that is just like the day that just happened. There's no moment like the moment that just happened. So in every breath we take, maybe inhale that light and be aware that we're operating ourselves in conjunction with the soul who knows source. The soul who knows source, I say, it's kind of like dipping the spoon of our consciousness into the soup of the soul. And I say that because it reminds me of being in Turkey many years ago. Erika and I were in Turkey with the Sufi project, doing the songs inspired by Rumi. And we got to see a lot of these places, what they called tekiyas, which were places where Sufism was taught. And the teachers are called sheikhs and sheikhas. Male is sheikh, sheikha is the female version of a sheikh, the holder of the wisdom of Sufism. And there was a huge celebration going on at one of these tekiyas. And we happened to be in Konya at the time of this great big celebration. And there was someone who was similar to having the elevated consciousness and respect of a saint. So they had the men in one room and they had the women in the other room. But these Anatolian women cooked a feast for at least 150 people. So, but the key to the whole thing was they would put these, we would sit around a round table, and they'd place the bowl of food, several different courses, but the bowl of food went into the center. And each one of us was given a rather large soup spoon. And the deal is you dip this end into the bowl and you feed yourself with the other side. But we were all being fed from the same bowl of nourishment from the center of the table. And we weren't permitted to talk. Talking wasn't. So of course, I'm probably the only one who ever got shushed for talking. I was trying to say something to Erika, like as meaningful as, isn't this cool? And all of a sudden I was told to be quiet in Turkish. I don't remember I don't remember that word, but because I only had to hear it once, I felt. But anyway, it reminds me of, again, like the soup spoon of our consciousness, dipping into the soup of our soul and coming out as individuals. Like, so each person around that table was being nourished by the same source, but taking it out into form in a different way. However we see this, going back to the source, that inner light. I was laughing as we were queuing up this morning. I'm thinking of all these songs about light, you are the light of the world. You are the light of the world. And then my best Neil Diamond, got to make a face to sing that low. I don't know if I could do it now because I'm laughing too hard. Turn on your heart light. Remember E.T.? You can take it away from there. I can almost hear you. Let it shine wherever you go. It's that simple. It's that simple. I think what makes it challenging, being the light of the world, is when we buy into the idea that somebody else's light is the one we most want to shine. There's a way we can shine light onto each other to help us find our way, to help us find our way, to help us find their way. But their way is their way. Our way is our way. And that's what SoulCall Ministries is really about. It's awakening the light at the center of the soul, which is where we all connect, like roots under the ground, in the redwood forests. And it's this system that we are connected, like the earth from the view of the moon. We can see the connection, but when we're in among it, that's where the spiritual practice comes into place, so that we can remember, improving our remembering when we're in the trees, that we are still all connected, and remembering the larger whole that sustains the truth of this light. And it is for us to find our way to make our path as our divine expression of the soul. Dipping into the source, and finding our divinity. I did look up the root word of divinity because I like doing that. And it's Latin, meaning divinus, or of God, or belonging to a God, inspired, prophetic. And divinity, the way I like to say it, I've said this before, but it's dive entity, the dive entityness. And I said, many of you are aware that I'm going to be writing a book. I'm going to call it the Da Vinci Code. Wait for it. Sorry. The humor's free. Everything's free. It's just making sure that we recognize that diving into our true nature as spirit, our true nature as the soul, is where the light of the world originates. Whichever philosophy we bring forth to help us remember, sometimes it's different philosophies at different times. As long as it's not putting a false god before you. There is no God but God. La ilaha illallah is what the Sufis say. There's no God but God. And there's no you but you. And that God within, that soul's calling, is pulling us forth to shine our great light, as who we are and who we've come to be in this incarnation. So looking for help is excellent. It's always a great idea when we lose our way to find someone who can point us back to our inner path, to the Godhead, but not something that puts itself between us and our source. Is something worth looking at and perhaps removing at a later time. We can use the crutches of consciousness. Sometimes, like I said, we all need a little help seeing that great light, but being the light, and shine as brightly as you can while you can. I often talk to my coaching clients and I say, I always give 100% to what I'm doing. And sometimes my 100% comes off a little better than other times, but nonetheless, I give it all I've got. That's all we can ask from ourselves and our soul, is to give it the best you have for that moment and shine as brightly as you can. Fall asleep, wake up, and do it again. But falling into that source, which is where the joy is, where the bliss is, like the meditation was suggesting early on, falling into the well of bliss that is your soul, and allowing it to lift and illuminate your consciousness in every single cell in your being. We are not triune nature. We're actually whole. We're one. And we find fancy ways to try to describe the experiences we have as a human being. We experience multiple things on many different realms. There are more than just the three we talk about. And essentially, it's one. And so like a piano has 88 keys, nobody really wants to hear you play them all at once. But you're finding harmonies to accompany the melody of your life. It makes beautiful music, and it nourishes the cells of our being and each other, awakening this awareness of light, being the light in your own world. Last week, I talked a little bit about the Star of Wonder and the fourth wise person, and recognizing that is you, that is me, my friend, that's us. Following that star of the inner guidance, the third eye. And we're talking about the Christmas tree of consciousness this week, being the lights, recognizing our chakras, these wheels of energy in our body. They spin. People have ideas that they spin to certain colors and frequencies, and they do. Keeping them alive and moving is important so that we don't have stagnant chi, as what Helen was teaching and what Deborah teaches us on Sundays. Keeping the energy moving, keeping the chi moving and alive. Well, what if our bodies are those Christmas trees? What if the Christmas tree is a symbol of these wheels of light in our bodies, and the star at the top is our own star of intuition, of divinity, diving into that star and allowing it to be met on the other side by the infinite intelligence, the Christ consciousness, the God consciousness itself. There's a beautiful chant in Self-Realization Fellowship, peering into his eyes with my diving eye. And that's the eye, the portal of consciousness into the cosmic intelligence, which is what we've all come to bring forth. And joy is the magic key. Joy to the world. This light has come, right? Let earth receive her king. Let this earth receive the crown consciousness of cosmic intelligence. Here we are. So we all have gifts to share. This is also a season where people take great joy in exchanging gifts. And may we remember that each gift we have comes from one source and one source only. And that's the giver of all gifts. That's the source within you, within me, within, without. And allow ourselves to give great thanks that we possess all that the kingdom possesses. It is within our divine nature to attract what we need at will and offer it to others. We had going to be bringing on Mama Elf a little bit later to talk about some of the excellent times we just had, sharing of our gifts, recirculating, just keeping the currency of consciousness moving. The holiness, the holy of holies is being able to not clutch and grasp and hoard, but to keep things moving. If it's given to us, we share it and we get more. The more we share, the more we get. So the more we have to share. And so in that spirit of giving, in that spirit of life, of spirit of love, allow yourself to be born for the first time in your heart as a divine child of God, following the star of consciousness, the third eye, into the cosmic intelligence, and allowing that star to light up all the chakras of your being so that wherever you go, you look like this beautiful Christmas tree of consciousness that you are. And may that light shine through your eyes and through your voice, just through your beingness. Maybe you just walk into a room like we walk into a room and see a Christmas tree lit up. Maybe you just be sitting somewhere and people feel the jolt of that joy, that peace, that love. So that's where the celebration begins, within our own nature. And I invite you this holiday season, this season of awakening, this winter solstice, this divine burst of the shift from the darkness into the light. Be the divine scribe of your soul and write the book of your life as living with the presence of divine light. I love this next little song we're going to share with you. It's a claymation, and the performers are Winter Blue. And it was in our newsletter, but I just want to share it again because it's just magical. So what I just said could sound like a spiritual charge, or like you got to get out there and do something huge. Being yourself is the biggest thing you can do. And so have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your hearts be light. Find that joy, that bliss of the soul, and throw it around like confetti. I'm having a Rip Torn moment. I don't know if you remember who that is. Phyllis Diller, Rip Torn. Okay, enjoy this song.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends that are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough. yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Isn't that amazing? It's so magical. Thank you for joining us this morning. And I have a very special guest who is incredibly busy this time of the year, but she's taken some time to be with us. And so we're going to invite Mama Elf into the studio right now. Mama Elf, welcome.
Well, thanks for having me, boss. We are busy indeed, shining our lights out there, the Elf Squad, the Soul Squad, Elf Squad. And it's been so much fun shining our lights, helping out. And, you know, I wanted to share a little bit of the fun that we've been having out there, making spirits bright. Our squad's been delivering food cards, and we've been delivering, startled me. There I am, Mama Elf. Delivering my own little goodie bag. And, you know, here's the deal. At this time of joy, we all know this has been a heck of a year, even for us elves who like to be happy all the time. Been a heck of a year. And, you know, 2 years ago, there were 1 in 8 people in our country that were food insecure. That was 2 years ago. Right now, people are really hurting. So Soul Squad, SoulCall Ministries has been so fantastic that we've been out delivering food cards from Kroger's, from Walmart, Bob Evans meals, people that have not had a home-cooked meal. They've been sharing their meals in shelters, and we were able to provide 4 families with, they're going to have a wonderful Christmas meal by themselves. They can just celebrate amongst themselves. And that just makes my heart sing and talk about joy rising. That's what we're about. And I encourage everybody to, you know, it doesn't have to just be now, right? We need a little Christmas all year long. I mean, I can wear this hat all year long I'll do it. Everybody do it with me.
Do it.
Calling
us out. So, you know,
you said we're a shining light, right? We are. Yep. We're shining bright to see, and that's what we do all year long.
How about Mama Elf, everyone? And so we raised, with the help of everybody's generous donations. Oh, Mama Elf's gone. She might bring you back in, so be careful what you're doing over there. We raised over $5,000, and then just a couple of days ago, we had another donation that was matched by a corporate sponsor. So we have another $2,000 to go around, and we're going to start spreading that joy. But as Mama Elf was saying, this is the gift that keeps on giving. Your donations and tithes, soulcallministries.org/donate, help us to do the work in the world with the partners we've affiliated with who are doing good work. But we are doing it too. Like, we found a bunch of people who aren't involved with other groups, some individuals and families that we were able to help directly. That brought us great joy. So we thank you for your contributions. No amount is too small. And I'm going to put this out there. We've been, so far we've raised $7,500, which we have donated. And we're still looking for that one special sponsor, or maybe 2 of you who would like to match that contribution so that we can do twice as much work in the world, bringing this light and this love, sharing our gifts. So if that's you and you're just bursting and you're feeling like you want to give all you can, we say yes. There are ways to do that. If you're interested in this, just send an email to me, lisa@soulcallministries.org, because we have ways to accept year-end charitable contributions of stock sell-offs. And we're a 501c3. So if you've got excess, maybe disbursements from your 401k plan that you don't want to get into a different tax bracket without getting all silly on you, I just want you to know we're able to receive all of those things. So keep us in mind. And also what we're able to receive are your prayer requests. This is a really challenging time of the year. It's been a challenging time for many people. Not being able to get together with friends and family as we would like this year is causing a lot of challenge. So please don't go to bed with that on your heart or your mind. Reach out to us at prayers at soulcallministries.org. Prayers with an S at soulcallministries.org. We've got a beautiful bunch of illumined hearts praying with you, for you, whenever you need help. Also, I wanted to call your attention to some classes we have coming up. January 5th, David Leonard and I will be starting a new class, What the Mystics Know. It's the Catching the Mystic Thread. I'm very excited about this class. If you are wondering how to awaken that experience, it's going to teach ways of creating the experience of realization yourself, not just reading about how others did it, but it's going to enable you to open that portal up of experience, the infinite for yourself. It's going to be Tuesday nights and Wednesday mornings. So there are two opportunities. If you go to soulcallministries.org/classes, and it's offered as a love offering, there's a suggested donation amount, but no one will be turned away. So please share this with your friends. It's going to be an amazing class. And Tuesday, every Tuesday from 6 to about 6:45 is the SoulCall Rewind, where we get together as our conscious global community. People from all over are coming into the Zoom room, and we get to talk about the Sunday talk and whatever else is on your heart. And it's a good way to meet other people in our global community that you might not have met before, from different cities and states across the country and different parts of the world. Let's see. Some of you are asking, so today I'm going to be sending out the link for those of you who bought tickets to the Jazz Up the Holidays performance. You're going to be receiving a link, a complimentary gift from SoulCall Ministries and from me personally to say thank you for watching, and you'll get to watch the show again. And for those of you who haven't gotten a chance and you'd like to donate, there'll be a sign up for you to donate $25 to watch the show in its entirety. And because it's already been live streamed, it's recorded. So this time, if you had any challenges with your Wi-Fi, that shouldn't be the problem this time. So more opportunities to do that. SoulCallMinistries.org, and it's actually right there on the home page. Just scroll down a little bit and you'll see the opportunity for Jazz Up the Holidays, and still your options on contributions. We're still taking those and appreciate that very much. Another really, some of you joined us for Soul Session last week with Emiliano Garcia, and it was really sweet, and it was a different dive into the depths of your soul. But this week, the 30th, Sheikh Kabir Helminski is going to be leading us in a zikr, and that is the Sufi dance of remembering. It's a deep, deep spiritual experience. If you could join us Wednesday, December 30th at 7 p.m., you could sign up on the website, soulcallministries.org/events, and you'll get the link. It's free, but you got to register first so you can get the link to come into the Zoom room and experience this for yourselves. And then be on the lookout too in the newsletter for some information on New Year's Eve events we have coming up. One in the morning at 7 a.m. and then a 7 p.m. New Year's Eve, out with the old, in with the new. Natalia, Reverend Christy, and I will be taking you into the new year on New Year's Eve, 7 p.m. Christmas Day, I'm going to be leading a meditation. There'll be more information about that in the newsletter for times. If you're interested, just check us out at soulcallministries.org or sign up for the newsletter if you haven't done so already. So boy, that was a mouthful. I want to say thank you to Mama Elf and the Soul Squad, everybody out there doing their good and perfect work. Thank you to Helen Yee. Thank you, Natalia Zuckerman. And wherever you are on the planet, I wish you light. I wish you love. And know most of all that wherever you are loved. Peace and blessings.